Hi, Floris. Welcome to the webinar of Want to Taste. Maybe it's a good idea that we start off with a general introduction of you, Floris, and of your company, Neonwhale. Would you tell our listeners more about that?
Yes, so hi, good afternoon, Jasper. I'm indeed Floris Combes from Neonwhale. So I'm about 20 years now in food R&D as a person. And 6 years ago, I think we started with Neonwhale together, myself, and then together with Mathieu, we started up with Neonwhale as a type of one-stop shop. We want to be to help, in fact, food companies with everything around product development, product innovation, etc. Basically, what we do is we help startups, scale-ups, food companies of mid-size to corporate, all types of food companies in that field, starting from concepting new innovations and until development and upscaling them. So that's a bit
Okay.
what we do.
So that's very relevant for the discussion that we are having today. So today we're going to talk about the developments in the dairy and the beverage industry as a wider area of interest. Um, in your job in your company, you're
Hmm.
probably pretty much on top of all the trends that are happening. Can you tell us a little bit more what you see and what kind of questions your customers come to you for?
Yeah. So well, our I specifically but then to dairy and plant based, which is a bit which is one of our focus categories, let's say. We see in on the dairy side, we see more and more the trend again of affordable nutrition, where you see that basically milk and milk products as such have naturally a good nutritional value. They have good proteins with a high nutritional quality, and the cost is still quite low for dairy products. Although also that has been changing a bit with the rising increasing prices, but still if you compare to certain plant-based products, that is still very much affordable. So there is again a bit of a rise there, and we see it mostly in the whites, the white products, let's say the white milks, but also like typical fermented products like kefir, yogurts, etc. And you see, it's maybe a bit of a dull trend because it's a bit back to the basics, but you see there products like, for instance, a Jersey milk. A Jersey milk is a regular milk, but a bit different with um, a type of casein in there, A2 casein, which would improve a bit the digestibility. I'm not sure if that is all true, but it's good marketing. So and then also a lot of fermentations. Just letting all types of ferments going loose on the milk and then creating Turkish, Bulgarian, skyr type
Yeah.
yogurts, etc., etc. So that's definitely that's, let's say, from the positive side of the dairy, the trend that we see. Of course, dairy has on the other side also some negative points, like sustainable wise and nutritional wise, and also there we see definitely some opportunities for the dairy industry, like lactose free products, of course, which is then on the negative lactose containing aspect of milk. But also on sustainability, I read also an article that Friesland Campina, for instance, is also investing or co-investing in microbial fermentation, or microbial fermented proteins, for instance, which is you see they are also looking into that. And let's say 10 years ago, this was out of the question. So this is, you also see that they are more investing in production of plant-based products. So there are a lot of dairy factories starting to produce also plant-based products. So you see there is something going on in there. I also believe, for instance, in the future, why not mixing milk and plant-based more, like a hybrid product, which can combine the best of both worlds and making the milk, keeping the good properties like the taste and the of the milk, and combining that with plant-based to have it more sustainable, for instance, could be an idea. Yeah?
What are maybe the challenges that you face in terms of when you start making new concepts, or when customers come to you? Are there certain issues that they, for example, have in finding the ingredients, or in sourcing, or do you see challenges there?
Oh yes, but yeah, I think that's the least we can say. We are really a bit in a perfect storm. Although I had that feeling more last year and the year before already. I was doing also projects for a big plant-based producer, um, and a lot of challenges there in yeah, getting those specialty ingredients basically. Yeah. So yeah, things like inulin. I think that was a big problem in the crop 2021, 2022. That is now resolved a bit.
Yeah.
Specialty proteins like formulas containing certain pea proteins that are very specific, and then at one point that pea protein is no longer available and you need to find another one, and it's a lot of testing. It's a lot of product development work going in there. So I think also when you do new projects, and we also integrated these difficulties a bit in our way of working, is having attention points on when making formulas, to already think a bit about, if we know ingredients are a bit tricky, certain types of ingredients, that we already try to have alternatives maybe in the back of our heads, or for our customers that we say, yeah, even yeah what we even yeah, for some type of ingredients is just a big mess, everything red fruits, I block everything with red fruits inside. That's now a bit out of, it's a bit less dairy and plant based, but raspberries and all types of red berries and blackberries, it's really eh, you have prices times five. It's you cannot do anything with that. So that's really something. Yeah, it blocks a bit the front end of those innovations. That's definitely the case. Yeah, I think it's yeah, more and more the job of product development and R&D also to take these contingencies into the back of our heads. Yeah.
So as a company, you're saying you need to actually develop five different variants of one product for different scenarios, almost.
Hmm. Sometimes, yeah, you could say so. I think there are some you can also there are some strategies you can adopt. I think getting know-how in of ingredients, a broad know-how is crucial. Having a good network with ingredient suppliers, like yourself, is crucial too. But also thinking about, for instance, a vertical integration of certain processes. If you buy certain specialized ingredients, why not thinking about going more upstream and buying uh, a less processed type of ingredient and trying to solve it yourself via processing yourself. In the plant-based world, for instance, it's now more and more. Most of the oat drinks, for instance, are made with syrups, and now you see more and more plant-based producers try to insource the oat, the pure oat, and do the enzymatic breakdown themselves to produce oat milk. So this is I think it's good also in that sense, because you have more chance to run out of oat syrup, let's say, than to run out of oat. So that's always that's also a good strategy. So, but yeah, it's something taking contingency into your operations is very important. Yep.
Okay. So if I may summarize a little bit, so you see there's a trend into the more healthy corner, but at the
Hmm.
same time there's also a underlying um, issue, which is the sourcing of sustainable or the sourcing of ingredient due to climate change or to impact on the environment. Um, I think
Yes.
that's quite interesting, also worrying, of course. Uh, but I think
Hmm.
it's a good message to give to the world outside is that you need to look at your ingredients when you develop, and be prepared
Hmm.
for the issues that may occur, and that might mean, as you were saying, that you need to process more inside, or it might mean that you need to develop local suppliers or
Yeah.
different. Um,
Yeah.
what we experience in One to Taste is actually that people are looking for healthy ingredients, but are also, as you mentioned, very
Hmm.
cost conscious, um, more and more. But they also are in a struggle because we get these inquiries quite frequently. To spread the risk is they want a product coming from, say, India, and they want it from China. So people are diversifying the risk profile for their
Hmm.
ingredients.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Floris, I think we came to an end already. Um, is there some last thought that you would like to share?
Um, yeah. Well, a last thought. I'm thinking. I think, yeah, when we start up innovations, we always begin a bit with the end in mind. So we always start thinking of what does the customer want to put in the market, and what does it have the necessary consumer relevance, um, and by shaping that idea, we go into a sort of thinking strategy with them, and we start with a very broad briefing, and we take into account in the briefing all the problems we discussed today, problems and the trends also, to map really well, um, all the different aspects you want to integrate in your product. And so there, I think it's very important for in this customer journey, let's say, to already from the beginning start with the end in mind. I think that's the key rule. Um, Whatever you can already think of issues that might pop up on ingredient sourcing, on processing the certain recipe. Taking that already along is key, I think, and that's something where our company can definitely help with, because we know already a bit what is happening upstream. Not a bit, we know it very well. So that's, I think, my takeaway message there.
Cool. Yeah.
Good.
Well, thank you for sharing with us your knowledge, and we know each other now for quite a period, and what I've seen is a very professional approach. Um, so I want to thank you for our conversation today, and look forward to continue our work together.
Thank you.